Okay, let's go to the chairman's office. Here is my office here. And as you can see, I first have the area where I'm able to sit people and have little meetings and conversations. Definitely, we can see the Buckingham Fountain, of course, and it is shooting that water way up there, right? So this is a beautiful view, right? This is what's important and what we try and teach everyone is that you can get this same opportunity, you can own your own business, you can do, but you have to get rid of that reprobated mind. Because anybody who's owns a company, starting a business, and they see that you are determined to be lazy, you are determined not to do any work, why am I going to hire you? Why am I going to attempt to talk to you about making good money when we know people do not set contracts? They don't do business with people who don't do the work. And so the Black American population has destroyed our opportunities, and they don't see that. They say, well, since I got a government check I can run to, I can have babies out of wedlock and get on some government money, I can get me some food stamps. So now when it comes to needing to get a job, they find it hard to keep the job because they don't know what work skills are, they don't know what customer service is, they don't know anything other than I can treat you any kind of way because I have a government that will pay me. But when you look at what the government is offering you, right? Food stamps. A single person in the city of Chicago gets an average $200 a month in food stamps, even though we all agree that inflation has raised eggs by 200%. Did the Democrats give you any increase on your food stamps? No. Because they want you to live below poverty. They want you to live minus paycheck to paycheck. You'll always be miserable because you're living under government control. And the only way out of government control is to what? Get a job. But if you get a job and you don't want to do the necessary things that a job is asking you to do, then eventually you get fired, or eventually you get, disciplined. And so then those who are African Americans with the job, who get up and learn the importance of pressing their pants and doing what they need to do to earn a paycheck, they've always got the Black American who's not far away, destroying the way the job is supposed to function. So now the boss sees that he has this Black American working on the job, and you see that you have a Black American working on the job, for you're an African American, and that person slacks, they don't sweep right, they don't mop right, they don't stock shelves right, they don't do anything right. They're wasting time on their cell phone. And so now the boss says at the end of the day, I need productivity. So now they see you, the African American. And now you feel uncomfortable as the African American now because number one, you failed to do your job and your responsibility to save your job by telling. See, we stop telling. We stop telling the truth. We want to live in a lie. You're the freaking African American doing 8 hours, 4 hours of your job the right way. And because you continue to allow the Black American next to you to do nothing, now your job becomes miserable because the owner, the operator, the manager of the business needs you on that same shift. Since you won't complain that he's a dirtbag, since you won't complain that he's not doing his job, since you won't complain that you need a better employee, let's fire him, then I'm going to work your ass to death as a slave. And then you get mad at the employer. But it's really your fault because you didn't do your job. You were supposed to say, hey, boss, it's 3 of us here, and that guy over there, it doesn't have to be a racist issue because you don't want to identify that guy that looks like you. But you have to tell that guy, that's not how I work. That's not my work ethic. That's not who I am. When you're able to tell an employer that, then that employer can help you by getting rid of that bad employee and hire somebody that's going to make sure that you can go home to your family on time. See, we know why the African American is stressed out and burnt out on the job, because you failed to do your job and your responsibility in saying, boss, that black American over there is not like me, the African American. I do my job. And because you're coming to me saying, hey, since that over there is not done, since that over there is not done, I want you to do it before you go home. Can you do that for me? And you feel uncomfortable if you'd have to say no. So now your willingness to allow this black American to come to work every day and be on his cell phone, slack on the job, and make you now do 9 hours of work or double what you could do in 8 hours because you allowed it. So now we have to change. Us African Americans, we have to change. We have to prove that we are not going to allow others to destroy our love for our families, destroy our love for the working American man and woman. We can't allow people to come into the workforce that are not willing to work and then make your life miserable, so now your children are miserable. Because those who are around you, when you're miserable, they know you're miserable and you act the way you act, and then they become miserable. So now everybody in the house is miserable. All because you were too scared to tell the boss, I do 8 hours a job, I do what you tell me to do, are not I a good employee? Why do you have this black American here making the same amount of money I make and doing nothing? Do something about it, boss. But when the boss sees you smiling and giggling in that person's face that ain't doing nothing to make sure that you can go home on time, then you are the one that's the problem. See, we got to get into self-respect, self-responsibility. If we don't, then we're only harming ourselves. I thank you very much for your time.